So a lot of crazy things have obviously happened in the most recent 2023 NBA draft, but one of the things that I think has legitimately stood out the most is, of course, Cam Whitmore falling all the way down to the 20th pick where he was selected by the Houston Rockets. Again, this is a really weird thing. I think myself and others definitely heard that his individual workouts with a lot of NBA teams didn't exactly go the way he probably planned. Apparently, he struck out in a lot of those individual workouts. We don't exactly know why that is. And then, of course, apparently he took a bunch of interviews with a bunch of different teams before the draft started, and apparently didn't do well in those interviews, and it didn't seem like a really good thing. The report going on before the draft is that Cam Whitmore would fall from his projected pick 7 status to around pick 14. But what we couldn't expect is him to fall all the way to pick 20, where he was eventually selected by the Houston Rockets, who I genuinely believe possibly won this draft. I am really liking what the Houston Rockets did in this 2023 NBA draft. First of all, selecting Amen Thompson, who I genuinely thought was going to be the perfect pick for them with the 4th overall pick. It's really interesting because this guy's career could go in a legitimate number of different ways, and they're mostly all positive. First of all, if the Houston Rockets do decide to go the James Harden way and bring him in free agency, which in my personal opinion, I don't think is going to happen. I think Harden will re-sign with Philadelphia, but let's just say he does go to the Houston Rockets, then it's going to be a decent thing for Amen Thompson anyway, because we could legitimately see him switch all the way from the point guard position to the small forward position and play minutes there, just like what his brother is probably going to be doing with the Detroit Pistons. Now, again, if he doesn't do that, let's just say he doesn't play small forward, then even if he does play backup point guard or whatever, or backup guard for the Houston Rockets behind James Harden, behind Jalen Green, maybe even playing some small forward minutes here and there as well, he's going to be learning from James Harden, which is a really, really awesome thing at the end of the day. But if they do go the way that I think, and that's having Amen Thompson as their point guard, I really like this. I think Thompson is a huge step up from Kevin Porter Jr. I think that is a very obvious one. With Kevin Porter Jr., he's a guy who I still think works best in this NBA as a scoring shooting guard. Possibly off the bench. I think obviously on a good team, he would 100% be off the bench. He would not be starting. But at the Houston Rockets, he's kind of being made to be the point guard. It doesn't work. He turns the ball over way too much. He's too kind of... he's not, I don't think, quite enough when he does have that ball. And when he's trying to play make and whatnot, he doesn't seem like he's looking for that pass first. It seems like he's very, very aggressive to try and score. And it always gets him into problems usually, because if he needs a bailout pass, he'll often turn it over, or he doesn't exactly see as well the cutting defender in the passing lanes. It just the defender, in the passing lanes. It doesn't necessarily work, and I don't really like Kevin Porter Jr. at that point guard position. I think Amen Thompson is going to be a lot more calm. The offense is, I think, going to be a lot more under control and a lot more safe under Amen Thompson's hand. Again, it's probably going to be very similar to KPJ at the start, but I think as he gets a lot of experience in him and as time goes on in the NBA, he will eventually grow into being a very solid point guard. And I really like this for the Houston Rockets. I think he's an extremely athletic dude, and it just makes a whole lot of sense to bring him in. Now, if we're going to look at Cam Whitmore, I do have some issues with. Again, if we're hearing all of this negativity about who he is off the court, it's obviously not a great thing, considering the Houston Rockets have already dealt with that in Kevin Porter Jr. for the last couple years, and have had some other off-court issues, especially with Eric Gordon, Stephen Silas, their coach, and the front office disagreeing with Stephen Silas and a lot of other different things here and there. There's definitely been some controversy, but I think if we look past that at Cam Whitmore, you're looking at a dude who was projected to go at pick 7 and you get him at pick 20, there is a big chance, especially with Ime Udoka as their new head coach, that he does get this guy under wraps and he does get him into the system and make sure he's going to be not only good on the court, but good off the court. And I really, really like this for the Houston Rockets. I legitimately think you've just brought 2 top 6 players in for pick 4 and pick 20. It's definitely not a bad bargain for them. I think they've done really well and possibly some of the best in the draft. You're looking at legit 2 starters most likely for their next season. I think Cam Whitmore will probably start off the bench. There'll be a couple dudes in front of him to start off with, but I think as the season goes, Whitmore will definitely start his fair share of games. Amen Thompson definitely will be starting. You would think, even if they get James Harden, there's a big chance he might start over on that small forward position as well. They've done really, really well, and the thing is, they didn't have to make any trades or anything like that to actually do this, right? I genuinely think if the Houston Rockets go into free agency and bring in some guys off the bench, look, they could have a really, really nice team, and I think it makes a lot of sense. Look, your team's probably not going to be a playoff contender just because you've got a rookie point guard, and 99% of teams with rookie point guards don't usually do much or amount to anything, but they can definitely contend for the play-in, I think, and show a lot of promise. Another guy who I think they'll look at is Dillon Brooks. I understand that Dillon Brooks seems to be not exactly the greatest guy off court, in terms of some of the things he says in interviews and whatnot. And look, that's what Houston might be trying to stay away with. They've had a lot of that recently, but at the end of the day, if we're going to look past that, right, you got a dude who's extremely tough on defense, very underrated on offense. I'm not going to lie, I like Dillon Brooks' game. I think a lot of people get confused with Dillon Brooks as a person and Dillon Brooks' game. Just because they don't like him as a person, they'll automatically think he's not a very good basketball player. Reality is, he'd be awesome for this Houston Rockets team. He would probably start at small forward, obviously, to start the season off, and it wouldn't be that bad to maybe have a more veteran, experienced type of guy. 28-year-old, I believe Brooks is. He might even be younger, to be honest. I think he is younger, but reality is, Dillon Brooks would be a nice player for this team as well. And look, there's going to be a couple other dudes they go after in free agency. They could definitely use a backup center, possibly a backup, another backup forward. And I think if you have Amen Thompson as your new point guard, and if KPJ gets moved, having a new backup point guard would be good. Or even if you keep KPJ, he definitely would play a better role, I think, with this team off the bench at the end of the day. Anyway, but of course, if you guys haven't already, please make sure to leave a like and subscribe to the channel. Comment your thoughts and opinions down below. Do you guys agree with me of course, this Houston Rockets off-season? Do you guys like a lot of the stuff that they've done? Again, I would definitely really like to know your thoughts and opinions. Again, don't forget to subscribe to my gaming channel, MLIRL/vlogging channel. Links for them will be in the description down below. But as I said, most importantly, please let me know what you guys think all about this. I would very much like to know. But as I was saying, please make sure to leave a like, subscribe, and comment. And I'll see you guys next time. Goodbye.